friends, it's Allison. Welcome back to AJ's Inspired Life. Welcome back to another prompt page for the Inspired to Create prompts. Now, this is a challenge that Melissa and I from Messy Missy Creates came up with for ourselves back in the beginning of the year. We have invited you or anyone to join in as you would like to. No pressure. You can choose any of the prompts all year. It doesn't matter. So what we tend to do is choose a word of the week and then use each letter as a prompt. Sometimes we exchange prompts or text each other prompts or physically mail each other prompts. Sometimes we ask family members or you guys. We did not do any of that for November, and I plead your forgiveness. I am way behind. So what I had was all 5 weeks of November to make up. I laid them out on my desk, and hopefully that video is below as well if you'd like to see me choosing this month's prompts, okay? So let's see what we have to work with. We'll put Frank away so he can supervise. If you want to join in, please use the hashtag. It's hashtag inspired, the number 2, create _ 2023. And tag Melissa and I because we would love to see what you came up with. Okay, so this is a very long word, and for this month, I am working on this piece of cardstock. Now, my idea is I have a pocket in the back of my journal, and I'm just going to slide all 5 of these in. I can tell you this is week 3. I've made 2 so far, and all 5 are not going to fit. So that's a whole nother challenge down the road, but we'll see. Okay, so let's see what we came up with. For S, we have the word scrape, which is kind of cool. It may be the only technique that we have in any of our prompts for this entire month. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to scrape, but that's okay. So scrape is S. For C, we have card. Now, I have, interesting. I have 2 different, I see what I did. Okay, so I have this card, and I'm not too sure how we're going to use it, but there's a card. For A, I chose alarm clock. Now, a lot of these all came out of the same cut apart book. So this is interesting for me because I don't normally choose all the things really from one thing, but here we are. Okay. For R, I chose a rose flower. And for E, I chose elegant. And that is, this little lady here. She seems very elegant. Okay, C, I chose corrugated. Now, my vision when I chose corrugated was like a piece of cardboard and then you rip off a layer and on the inside is that corrugated piece. I did not pull a piece of cardboard, and I don't have one like, of course, as soon as I turn off the video, I'll find one, but I don't have one. But what I do have is a paper crimper, and I think we're going to have to use this as corrugated. Okay, so we will use that. And then R is rectangle. Now that's a little bit of a cheat, but I pulled this card. I actually have these 2 cards, so we could use this for card and something else for rectangle, or so one of these may not get used. I'm not too sure. We might scrape paper on one of these. I'm not too sure I want 2 cards, but we'll just see. But rectangle is the prompt we chose for here. I chose orange. And so I have this beautiful piece of paper from Happy Mail. Look at this. Love it, love it. And so I think this is going to make a debut. I love these colors so very much. And then for W, I chose wrapping paper or wallpaper. Now, this is the wrapping paper I had in my drawer, which I don't think is going to go with this motif. And this blue, I think, is going to be okay. I just don't think this is going to make the cut. So we're going to put this back in my folder. Yeah, it's a bit much. I'm not going to lie. It's a bit much. So let's see what we can do with these, and we'll put the prompt away for now. And, this in particular doesn't really matter. We could format it this way. They're sliding into a pocket, or my intention was it would slide into a pocket, but it's not like a page in my journal or anything that's already intact. So, I mean, we could give ourselves a little bit more room this way. I've never, I don't think, made a page this way. So, you know, we'll see. These are my two biggest pieces that I need to kind of somehow get on here. I mean, I don't need the whole thing, obviously, but I'm just trying to maybe figure out how to tie in some things. And we still need rectangle. I don't think I'm going to use both of these cards. And I'm kind of drawn to this more just color-wise and everything. So I need to find another rectangle. Now, I mean, how hard is that, right? You'd say, not really, Allison. But, yeah, these are all the extra things I pulled. This is all from my Happy Mail. I mean, that's technically, this is, I just used a library card on the last one, so I don't think I'm going to use any of these. I keep going back to this page. It is a rectangle and it has this really pretty bird on it, but I'm not going to use it. Those were in my journal this month. I mean, here is a rectangle from Happy Mail. That's kind of fun. I'm just going through this little thing on my desk to see if there's just anything we can grab in here. It's not quite a rectangle, is it? That's a rectangle. Kind of like the blue. See the rectangle behind there? Let's see what else. That back piece is a rectangle. Happy Mail. Love it, love it, love it. I'm just looking really quickly, trying to see, maybe we'll pull something else. This is my box for this month. Not very good at using specifically what's in my box. That's for dang sure. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. My boy's coming home again. My girl's coming home too, but not until the following week. So, I mean, like, that's a rectangle. Kind of interesting color. That's, I mean, technically a rectangle, right? I don't think we need the gold. What's in this little Happy Mail? Oh yes, stickers. Okay, we don't need that. I need to do planning is what I need to do. What else do I have in here? Is there a rectangle that we like? Hello, Tom. I don't see one. I mean, like, you know, that's a rectangle. That's very close. Oh, yeah, look, it's an enlarged. I was like, it's very close to a library card. Well, it is. It's an enlarged one. I mean, obviously, we could cut anything into a What is happening here? Anything into... I mean, that's kind of fun, actually. Well, maybe that one's better. All right. And... what else? We have this one. We'll choose that one as well, just to give us kind of a neutral background. We have a lot of things. Oops. A lot of things. No rectangle there. Okay, so let's see if we can make something work. Oh, and I also need a piece of paper to corrugate. Okay. Let's see. I have some choices. Choices. This is all for rectangle. Let's start, shall we? Let's start, and we'll cut her out. This is from my cutout book, which I got for this reason. I'm not as in love with the images as I was hoping to be. So this is a perfect like time to use them. I'm not going to use her on my daily pages. I'm just not. So we'll cut her out and she'll have a nice place. Now, unfortunately, I'm already wanting to hoard this piece of paper that I'm looking at in front of me. We'll see what we're going to do with it. I'm not too sure. I want to use it. I know it's a big surprise. I know. All right, we'll cut her out. And so we have her. It also just kind of doesn't go. The reason I pulled it obviously is for the orange, right? So I don't know. I'm tempted to all right, let me get my 3 little things cut out. I have 3 items, and I think they can kind of work together. I guess we're about to see, right? I always say I hate fussy cutting, so you guys know if you've been here, I just call this a messy cutting. I don't find the pleasure in it as some of you do, and I totally honor that for you. Just not my jam. I like this. I don't want to cut out. I mean, we could. Let's see how it looks. If it really stands out and it's like too white, then I'll go ahead and cut it out. But if it's not needed, then I'm not in need of doing it, right? All right. So I do have a little bit of a stuffy nose. I do apologize for that. I started my new job 3 weeks ago. I tend to kind of blame it on that, although everyone I know also has a stuffy nose and a little bit of muck going on. It, 'tis the season and all of that. So we're just making our way through it. I have a big hot cup of tea over here. My my faux Starbucks, whatever they call it, healing thing with mint and fruit tea in it and honey and a big half of a lemon. So that feels good. I don't have a sore throat or anything, but I'm doubling down on all of my supplements. So like I said, 'tis the season, right? So I'm just arming my body to do what it needs to do to get rid of it and fight it off. All the poor little babies at school are totally filled with snot. All right. So see, yeah, I think, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to use this whole thing, I don't think. And now we are tasked with also adding orange, obviously. Now, see right here, this is a very pretty orange. Her hair is like a burnt orange. So let's see if we can, because my prompt is scrape. Remember? So, I don't know how to scrape paint on unless it's acrylic, maybe. Let's see what we want to do here. Let's see. How do we get a burnt orange? Let me get my scraper card. I wonder if, whoops. I wonder what these crayons would do. Because I don't have, I wonder how you get the crayons out. There we go. Let's see here. Let's give us a little bit of water to play with. Ooh, that's really not happy. That's not working at all. Oh yeah, I guess it is. That's going to take a lot of work though, isn't it? Let's move on to plan B. Let's see here. Let me get out my cheapest watercolor set I have. Of course, it's the one you use the most, right? The $5, $4, whatever it is set from Michael's. Yeah. All right. Let's keep some water on here and let's get some orange. We'll make an orange. Well, all we can do is play with it and see. I'm just looking for her. If I'm going to have any sort of reference at all for orange, I want to go, and we're not there, but we'll see. Now, obviously, I would normally paint this on, but since the word is prompt, I'm going to see if I can pick it up with this card. And because it's a watercolor, it's super thin. Well, what if I do something like that? And then scrape it on. All right, well, we're not going to get rid of the blotches because the cardstock is absorbing it. Completely all okay with me. All right, let's make some more. Let's go to option number 3 in colors. Whoa! Please hang on. I got tangled. And we'll try some Distress Stain. Because you know I like it so much. Here is a spiced marmalade. Ooh, that's actually yellow, isn't it? See how, so this is what I say all the time. Again, if you're new here, welcome. Other people say, yep, nope. Other people say they stink. Mine have not done that yet. I'm trying to see if they have an expiration date. What mine have done is turn color. Okay, so although this is a very pretty color, well, that's actually better. Some of them are not the color that's still on the, outside. So this is like an amber. I guess that one's, I know I have another orange. Unless I used it. Here, pumpkin something. No, rusty hinge. Okay. That should do it. Oh, I also have this old paper, which I think I'll leave out just in case we need it. All right. Let's play with this. I still don't think it's like thick enough for me to really do anything with. So we will do the same thing. Just plain, totally fun. We'll get some drops on there. Obviously, most of this will be covered up. And then we'll scrape it. Worst case scenario, we hate it and we grab another piece of paper to work on, or we cover it up and we scrape a white or something else over it. But I don't hate it. I don't know how you could. It's orange. It's beautiful. It's pretty spotty. Now, I'm intentionally kind of leaving these edges, but I'm wondering if we want to pull some of this like out towards this edge right here. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's fine. I'm actually throwing this card away. It is not like actual plastic card. It's a cardboard card. So not super amazing. And I will just pick this up with my paper towel in here. This tray is, well, one of two that I have. This is actually off a, yeah, Swiffer. But I like it because it has an edge to it, right? So you can work with wet material in here if you want to do smoosh papers or whatever else. I tend to put my stains or my paints or whatever in here and put the piece of paper in here and pick it up, and it has a nice edge on it. So just always looking for packaging, kind of trash, if you will, that you can use. Okay. Okay. So here we have kind of this piece of paper. This is fun. All right. So she's looking dandy on there is what's happening. And we have already done scrape and we've already done orange. So frankly, we're kind of killing it. Okay. Ironically, this beautiful blue wallpaper is what I'm struggling with because it does not match anything. So we're going to have to tie it together somehow. I do like the possibility of maybe running this card this way, but that's not going to happen. I don't know. I'm going to cut this little, I don't know why I'm messing with danger here. Let's just get out some smaller scissors. All right. We found a like TikTok or Instagram video on like home remedies for colds and whatever. And so my husband made me some. It was so sweet. He's got the runny nose kind of too, and so I'm sure everybody has it. It's not now. Yeah, interesting. This I feel like kind of has to come out of the wall, one way or the other. It could kind of come up, and she could kind of be looking at it. I feel like that's a little creepy for me personally. My brain doesn't like that. Oh, yes to that. I feel like coming out of the wall is a little less creepy. This seems like dead people coming. Yeah. So we're going to do it this way. For whatever reason, this is okay for me, like the way it is. I kind of like the eyesight chart or whatever. Not too sure yet. Not too sure where exactly or how, but that seems like it could work somehow. This we're struggling with. So we have card, alarm clock, rose flower, elegant. Oh, we still need corrugated. Okay. So corrugated and rectangle, I think I'm going to use together. So these maybe I'm not going to end up using then, because although this one could kind of work, I'm almost tempted to disassemble it and do something like that. Huh. That could work. So that could be rectangle over the card. But we still don't have corrugated. So my thought was we would use this piece of rectangle. So I'm still auditioning this. Somehow we need to figure this out. And my wallpaper situation is not good right now. So the other choice was wrapping paper. I don't think... Yeah, I don't know if I have another piece of wrapping paper. I have lots of paper in my magic paper pile, but not wrapping paper. And this is really pretty wallpaper that I've hoarded forever. All right, let's do this. Now, the downside with this is it's not big enough for many pieces of paper. So we're going to have to, one, I could cut this piece of paper. Not going to do that. So let's just see what it gives us if we do this. And you just simply sometimes, I don't know. I tend to do it twice just, to get a cleaner, more distinct. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Okay, now this whole piece could go in the back. If we don't need this, and we're going to use this as an example, as my rectangle, I could just use half of it, right? We could just use a piece of it almost to layer. We could just keep layering here almost. Or behind. Maybe I like that more. We don't have to use this whole hand, although I kind of like it because it's I don't know, different, right? As opposed to just a rose. So look, we're kind of happy with this. I could cover, I would take off this little girl because this came in Happy Meal. I want to keep it. And we could put the alarm clock there. And the question is literally, what do I do with this? So do we have everything? We did scrape. We have a card. We have an alarm clock, rose flower. She's elegant. We have a corrugated piece. We have a rectangle somehow. We have orange, and we have wrapping paper and wallpaper. So these are all the pieces that we need to be working with here. Now, again, this is also a rectangle. See below? So as an example, if I replaced this blue here, that's kind of interesting. Only because it gives us a little bit of permission to tie in some of this blue, of which I don't know how I'm going to do yet. But I think we're going to just go for it. I had to smell it, sorry. I know half the time you guys are like, oh my God, she just smelled it. I didn't know if it smelled like paste or something. This is very difficult for me. I am actually very proud of myself right now for cutting into this piece of paper because that's not what I would like to do with it. But I've had it forever, and it was, again, I just have to tell myself it was given to me to use, and this is a great way to use it. Okay, I am going to cut some of the flowers out, and we're going to hopefully see if this little hand can maybe hold more than a rose. How about that? How about that? All right, so we actually have two on this one, so we'll cut them both out just to see. And this looks okay to me because like the train and the clock, it all kind of makes sense. Like she's obviously waiting, right? She almost looks a little annoyed, quite frankly. So I think think 3 flowers is probably enough. This one might be a better, only because it's got a flat edge. We could run it right up to that edge. Let's see here. All right, and then I did cut one more, but I think that's too much because now we're overpowering that rose. I mean, we have more roses, obviously, but I don't really know what kind of flowers these are, or were supposed to be, but okay. I like this idea of like a strip of this as opposed to so I'll just put that in my paper box and we can kind of do this. Now, I am questioning whether I want this star here, so I could take it off. I am going to cut this. I said I didn't know if I was going to or not. I tend to, when there's a little tiny space, her arm, I was a little hesitant in, I cut into it. But if it's something like this, I'm going to cut right through this. I'm going to cut right through it. No one's going to know. No one's going to know. You know, you can't breathe while you breathe or talk. Okay, so when I glue it back down, like it's going to be fine. Do you see how it just reconnects? It's fine. Nobody knows. Okay, do we like the white? It's a very hard choice because I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it. Okay. And we're going to go. We're going to start gluing. Now this is a little weird this month because I normally pop these pages into my journal, and I've explained in my other ones, I don't have any room in this journal to do that, and I've already journaled all the pages and blah, blah, blah. It might be a little late. It might be a little late, Allison. I was like, do you want to ink it? Guess when you should ink. When's the best time to ink, do you think? Yeah. Probably before you, what? Put glue on it? Sure. Probably then. That's what I would say. All right. And it's not even thick paper. Not even thick paper. Ooh, it's really not going to like this. Just ink before you do anything if you're going to ink. I never know if I'm going to ink is why. And then I put it down. I was like, oh, we could ink it. It's not even showing up because, well, I'll tell you what. It's wet liquid glue. It's giving me quite a bit of leeway to play with. So I'm just holding it together with its glued edges. And it's enough. It's enough to give me a little bit of a distinction. Okay. All right. So there is our corrugated piece of paper. Now, before I put glue on this, I'll go ahead and ink. It's kind of a weird brown, but it's okay. It's actually a little orangey. We could definitely do a different brown. I like the Cup of Joe. This one's okay too. Let's get a little bit darker. Okay. Put those away. Oh, I probably need to ink one more thing. Okay, so that's going to be our card. Yeah. And I think for this, we'll just put some tape on the back. Interestingly enough, yeah, that's okay. I was like, we could have used this other card, but yeah, no, I like this one. I mean, Just use the card, Allison. All right. We're going to put that down. Okay. Now, here is the question of the day. Are we... I'm going to corner around these just a bit with my corner rounder. Is it still a rectangle if it has round corners? Have to ask like a third grader or fifth grader. I don't know. Probably a kindergartner at this point. Let's see. Okay, so here is that fits a little bit better into our space. I'm actually really liking this. I'm liking the different layers coming off, you know, that sort of thing. This star, I actually, look at that. Oh, that side's even better because it's like cream as opposed to white. How funny is that? Okay, well, it comes off very easily because that was just glued on there. This is the alarm clock. So regardless, I don't even need more than that, just one piece in the middle. Again, brilliant use of the Sprocket color card. Very well done. All right. Okay, so there's that. Now, here's the star. I actually even like that color better. That's so funny. And here is the alarm clock if we're going to use it. I mean, we don't have to layer it specifically. We could, or we could just use the clock. Let's let that sit there for just a minute and let's mess around. I think I want her, look at that, it's perfect. So like space-wise, where do we want her? First of all, I don't want her floating up here. She needs to be down on the edge. And I think I don't necessarily want her disconnected from this, so I want to layer it a little bit. And if I put her right there, her cane goes right to the corner. Like she was meant to be on this piece of paper right there. So I don't know if my glue pen works anymore, but we're going to find out right now. So this little glue pen's fun for little fine things like this. Don't know if it's gluing. Don't think it is. Might be stuck. Not too sure. We might get out a different glue situation. It is important that we use our stuff up. That's another reason to use our stuff so it doesn't go bad. I'm going to leave it out just so I can fuss with it a little bit later. We'll try this one. All right. Is this one working? There's definitely glue in here. Do you try everything on your fingers? It's not working. Push the tip in several times until, oh yeah. It's not quite flowing yet is the issue. Come on, little glue, you can do it. I know it's been a while. Boy, for my OG friends, you know, if you know, you know. Allison and the stupid glue. Here's another glue. That's not, oops, that's a glue stick. We don't want that. Here's a zig glue. This one should, I know you're like, Allison, just use the, my rainbow magic glue, the glitter glue, right? The unicorn glue. My chisel top is, my needle top is clogged. Again. I know. So I know you're like, why don't you just use that? And I could. I absolutely could. Okay, there went her arm. There is no need to panic because we have We have glue. Oh my gosh, Miss Elegant, I am so sorry. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue your arm down first and pray for the best. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is not my thing. All right, here we go. Ooh, why aren't you sticking to the paper? There we go. Okay, here she is. Let's find your arm, shall we? Please connect. She's not going to make it. She's not going to make it. Well, so much for my intention on that. Because what I'm not going to do, I don't think, is pull up this whole arm. Am I? No. I'm not. I'm going to let her meet her arm. There she is. Ooh, that was a close one, my little friend, my fancy friend. I'm so sorry. I almost de-armed you. Okay, so she's going to make it to the train after all. She is not, however, going to be connected to this piece of paper, which was my intention. So we will make sure that that is sticking down. Now this I have to glue down, and let me tell you why. I would normally leave it up. I like some more dimension oftentimes, and an edge kind of off the paper will do that. However, like I said, I'm stacking all of these in a pocket together, and even I'm already struggling with them getting stuck and not fitting. So I don't want loose things flipping up right here if I can help it. Okay. Now I have glue all over my hands. Okay. Let's figure out what we're going to do. I like the idea of some blue flowers. So this is going to come over here. We just have to figure out kind of where. I'm watching this top edge, and then I'm going to, almost adjust it a little bit so this leaf overlaps this train. So that's approximately where that's going to go. In fact, that is where that's going to go. And I'm going to glue down this. Okay. Okay. So now the flower is on there, right? Okay. All right. Let's see. Like, I think if I wanted to get super cool, I could cut a finger hole in there. You know what I mean? I don't think I care that much. I just can't imagine. This is the longer one, and I want to see if this longer one can kind of, do something like that. We definitely need at least 2 of the blue, otherwise it looks not connected in my humble opinion. This one looks weird. It looks to me like it's trying to be a leaf, so we're not going to use this one. I thought maybe we would put it up here like on the edge, but I don't think that's what's working. So I like this short one, and I like the long one. I think that works. I don't know what kind of glue to use. We should probably use the other glue, shouldn't we? Let's see if the magic unicorn glue can glue wallpaper. I don't know if the kid's waterproof. Oh, and this is jammed too. Well, it's coming out. Not as well as it should, but... All right, we'll glue that down. All right, and I think we can glue this one in. Kind of like that. Yeah, that's working for me. Okay, then we will glue this down to hold the rest. Oh my goodness, that turned out great. Love it. Okay, so that's our wallpaper. Now, the only thing we have left is this little alarm clock. Now, I just don't know if we need the star on here or not. I mean, we certainly could add it, but I don't. I'm not going to use the star, and I don't want to tell you why. Because I'm going to hoard it. I just don't think it's needed on the page, and it's a thick corrugated chipboard. Not corrugated, I'm sorry, chipboard, and so I don't need it on here, and I'd rather use it somewhere else. So I'm just going to use it somewhere else, and I'm going to put an alarm clock there. Okay, so this was Happy Mail that I just got last week, and so you can see, like, use the Happy Mail, take it apart, use pieces of it, whatever you need to do, right? Okay, and there it is, I think. Woof. 12 prompts and 5 glues later. Let's see. I almost poked myself. Guys, I missed my blood donation appointment this week. What a ding dong. I mean, not completely ding dong. Like anyway, I couldn't make it, and I forgot to cancel, and I feel horrible, but I scheduled it before I had my new job, obviously, and couldn't go. So I got to go reschedule that. And I might change locations. I always go, they're only in town every other week here, and they're booked out. So when I give blood, I book my next appointment, which is like 6 to 8 weeks out, depending on, what week they're coming or whatever. And yeah, so anyway, we'll see when I can get my next appointment. But I like to do that regularly. Why did I say that? Because I almost said, I almost started donating my own blood. I poked my finger with those scissors. Okay. Aw. Okay, I'm happy with this. All right, here we go. Let's check stuff off, shall we? Okay, here was our word. Scarecrow was the word. I hoarded a lot of stuff that I thought I was going to use. Okay, let's see here. We scraped the paint. And let me see if I have you in frame. I really hope I had you in frame for all that, but maybe not. We scraped the paint. I used a card right here for C. For A, I have an alarm clock. For R, I have this rose flower. For E, I have elegant. For C, I have corrugated. Unfortunately, it's losing its corrugation with the liquid glue, isn't it? Well, we did corrugate this. R is rectangle, which was this blue piece of cluster that we got from Happy Mail. Orange, again, was the orange paint in the background, or for O was orange. And then for W, we used wallpaper, which was this beautiful piece of wallpaper from Happy Mail. And added some flowers to her bouquet. So, I mean, my, look at that. There you go. There is week 3 of November 2023 in the Inspired to Create Challenge. Yep. Unfortunately, the corrugation of this went away. That's a bummer. Live and learn, I guess. It was just so thin. This paper's so thin is why. But, yeah, that's a bummer. Anyway, but I'm happy with it, and it was fun doing a page this way. I haven't done that, I don't think. So that was fun. and we got to use some fun prompts, and I got to use some happy mail, and I'm working through my stash. So, okay, that's the whole point of the whole challenge, right? Is just to challenge us and inspire us to try new things. So I hope you join in. Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. Thanks for like listening to me ramble and whatnot. I hope that you are enjoying whatever you're doing, creating, and however that looks for you. I know we're coming up on the holiday season and we have busy days. And so hopefully you're finding some time to create and kind of, find joy in what you need as well. So I appreciate you being here, and I hope you find something today that inspires you. Take care.